is ESPN on ABC.
Then basketball is such a beautiful thing.
Hey now, say down, run up on my end. Big face, Buddha, get my peaceful within.
That's a fancy way to get a triple-double.
You're taking care of the business.
Fresh out, then you better break the backboard. I got friends hoping that they make the tabloids. 100,000, 200,000 fold.
It's Kobe Jokic with the magician's vision.
Hey now, say now.
Time to lock in. We need every win.
Hey now, say now.
Tatum on the attack, and he knocks it
Hey now,
home.
say
We
now.
have another gear we can tap into.
Hey now, say now.
Oh, he set off the smoke detector.
Welcome to NBA Countdown, presented by Papa John's.
We have a heavyweight fight on our hands, a battle of the last two NBA champions. Alongside Stephen A. Smith, Bob Myers, Kendrick Perkins, I'm Malika Andrews. Through 1,230 games that make up the NBA regular season, sometimes there are times, right, where we might focus on a superstar showdown or maybe a measuring stick game for potential contenders or a chance for the champs to say, we're not going anywhere. Well, this Sunday showcase has all three wrapped into one. Stephen A., what are you most looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what Denver Nuggets team is going to show up and who's going to step up. As a starting five, they shoot 52% collectively from the field, about 40% from three-point range. They got a few dudes, I think 4 different dudes averaging like 25 minutes a game, shooting about 40% from the field or what have you. It's very impressive. But what's your bench? Your efficiency from your bench is ranked like 20.
Now we got the target on our back. Everybody's trying to come after us. What we're trying to chase is greatness, and it's not for everybody.
Welcome back to NBA Countdown, presented by Papa John's.
Let's take a look at today's impact pairing, brought to you by Papa John's. This game, it features two of the best duos in the NBA, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. They're the only pair of teammates to each average 20 points and 6 assists this season. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they each had 35 points in the same game for the 5th time in their careers on Friday. That is the same total as all other duos in Celtics history combined. But these two teams today, you didn't lose 3 games in a row in 3.5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard.
Boston Celtics
what's so hard?
are looking to try to avoid that fate today. It's time to get you out your tip-off in Boston. Mike
got the
Green,
talent on
take it
board.
away.
Huh?
Thanks, Malika. Welcome to Boston, where March has come in like an angry lion. 17 degrees this morning. But, of course, spring's right around the corner now, and so many important games ahead as we sprint toward the playoffs. Sellout crowd at the TD Garden to watch Nikola Jokic, the 3-time MVP, who this year is putting up career-high numbers. And he'll face off against Jason Tatum, another MVP-caliber season, coming off a season-high 46 points in a loss to the Cavs on Friday night. And good afternoon, everyone, with Richard Jefferson and Doris Burke. Mike Green on hand. Lisa Salters with us as well. A matchup of the second-best team in the East against the second-best team in the West. And it features the only 2 players in the NBA that lead their team in scoring, rebounding, assists, and steals. Of course, that includes Jason Tatum of the Celtics. It just seems to get better every year, Doris.
At the ripe old age of 27, which he turns tomorrow, there's an ease and a maturity about his game. He wears champion well. When he came in as a teenager, Mike, I think the only thought in his head was, how many points can I put on the board tonight? Now it's about manipulating the defense and raising the level of the guys around him. How can I get Kristaps Porzingis or my shooters good shots? And what I admire most about him, Mike, is whether primary or in help defensive assignment, this guy is tuned in to the game plan. He gives you great effort on both ends.
As for the Nuggets star, Nikola Jokic, he has seen every possible defense, and it rarely works, Richard.
It rarely works because he is the best player in the world, and he's having one of the great statistical seasons in NBA history. But if you're a Nuggets fan, the most encouraging part of what you've seen is the performance of Jamal Murray. Over the last 12-plus games, he's averaging 25 and 5, and he is key if the Nuggets are going to get back to their championship ways.
Always a story who's available to play today. With more on that, let's check in with Lisa. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, both teams will be shorthanded today, but I'll start with the Celtics because they'll be missing 2 key players, Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, who will both be missing their second consecutive game. Porzingis is still out with what's being described as a non-COVID related illness, and Holiday is dealing with an injury called mallet finger on the pinky of his shooting hand. It's when the tendon at the tip of your finger is damaged and causes you not to be able to straighten it. Holiday is wearing a splint on that pinky, and the Celtics are calling him day-to-day. As for the Nuggets, Aaron Gordon suffered a left ankle sprain 3 days ago in Denver's game against Milwaukee and will sit out his second game in a row. Russell Westbrook will replace Gordon in today's starting lineup, and Denver is 19-8, Mike, when Westbrook starts this season.
All right, Lisa. Second matchup of the season between the two. Celtics won in Denver earlier, but Jokic did not play in that game. Can't wait. A matchup between the last two NBA champions. At last, the long wait is over. After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.
NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC is presented by Popeyes, bringing the crunch to every game with their bold flavored wings. This presentation of NBA Sunday Showcase, presented by Popeyes, will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
La 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 la. Yo.
In Boston, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
You're the champs and you're the standard. Every single night we give everybody best shot. I mean, it's just the responsibility you have when you win the championship.
Sidestep three. Cash. Money.
Scaling the mountaintop is hard. Staying there is another story.
Being the hunted is tiring.
Nuggets know that uphill climb.
Bringing that energy every day to defend yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally, it's exhausting.
They tasted success. They tasted what it's like to be on that mountaintop. If you're not striving to be the best, now you're just wasting time.
The champs of the past and present face off.
This one worthy of an NBA champion.
It's the Nuggets and the Celtics, now on ABC.
Denver Nuggets on the East Coast facing the Boston Celtics on an NBA Sunday Showcase presented by Popeyes. It's a beautiful, crisp Sunday in March in Boston. All right, it's not crisp, it's freezing. But it's a gorgeous day here in this historic city as the Celtics and Nuggets will meet for the second time this season. The lone visit here at a sellout TD Garden of Nikola Jokic. And this matchup features a contrast in styles between the Nuggets and the Celtics. Boston, the best three-point shooting team. That is their #1 weapon. Meanwhile, for their opponent, the Denver Nuggets, their #1 weapon, give it to Jokic, and score in the paint. Both teams second in their respective conferences. Today's starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell, and as Lisa Salters told us at the top, some changes in the starting lineup. So with Aaron Gordon out, Russell Westbrook comes in. So the three-guard lineup, basically, Murray, Westbrook, Christian Brown as well. Meanwhile, for the Celtics, with their injury situation, Luke Cornett and Al Horford would start. No Drew Holiday and no Kristaps Porzingis. And the crowd all fired up. And Richard, I ask this all the time on these 1 o'clock games. Did you hate it or did you like it? Because a lot of players don't like a 1 o'clock start.
When I was young, I loved it. When I was older, I hated it. So there's always the young players typically lead with the juice. The older players typically finish strong.
Took you a little time to warm up the engine, so to speak.
Yeah. When you get 30 plus, these early starts start to sting a little bit, unless it's the postseason.
Endorse motivation each team. Meanwhile, the Celtics, they want to bounce back, but what was a disappointing loss Friday in Cleveland. Denver, this is the final game of an East Coast trip. They'd love to have a long flight home with some cheer.
The getaway game. And Jokic has been absolutely brilliant, but to me, this is a different team when Jamal Murray is playing with swagger and making that off-the-bounce jumper, because they just feel different when he's doing some things.
And two bigs going up against Jokic with Cornett and Al Horford. Certainly the Celtics missing Kristaps Porzingis. He's got that illness and should be back any game now. Celtics losing on Friday to the Cavs. Now 7.5 back of first.